All right, everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Crash Course, the one and only podcast, the original Crash Course. Well, let's set the table right here. The original, of course, was on the radio show, but we've transitioned to the podcast. So if this is your first time stopping by, checking us out, if somebody maybe hopefully mentioned you to us, welcome aboard. We hope you find this educational and fun. And what I like to say is it's fun, educational, and free. Doesn't cost you anything, just a little time. But it's time well spent. How's that? All right, but anyway, yeah, Crash Course, the podcast, has arrived. I'm sure my wonderful production engineer over there, Anthony, has some idea how many episodes we've done already. I don't know. 52. How many? 52. All right, coming from the VIP lounge over there, I hear 52. All right, cool. 52. Holy crap. Hey, and Anthony was the formerly my engineer over there at the radio station, and we started posting, I believe, some of the radio shows on Spotify, which was really cool. So if you had listened to us on the radio, or maybe you didn't, and you're just a little curious, you can go over to Spotify, and you can see some of the old radio shows there. And folks, I got to tell you, man, the radio shows, they were good. I mean, not that I don't mean to be blowing smoke up my own ass here, but they were good. I mean, we had a lot of fun over there. We had some interesting guests on. We also had a great time with the folks. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, really, from the bottom of my heart, I had probably the most fun, with the people that would call in. We ran a show. We ran a contest called Question of the Day. We had a lot of fun with that. And then other times we were doing historical context, historically related issues to the show with respect to Long Island, like car racetracks and cars themselves, vintage dealerships, and and the folks would call in and we'd have a good time with that, and then we'd send a little something. I used to give away some shirts. We had a really nice time giving away some really cool gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Eleven, stuff like that. And hopefully everybody else had a good time with that. And we had a lot of fun. In fact, I'm going to try and put something like that together here with the podcast. My engineer tells me it's a little more complicated with this, but I think we're going to try and get there. All right, and we'll resurrect that. All right, it's a lot of fun. It's also educational. See, fun and educational. I mean, it's all here, folks. All right? You don't have to go anywhere else. Just tune in to Crash Course Podcast. You get it all. But seriously, we're going to try and work on that because I think that's great. It's great for it's great for you folks. Good for me. I get to interact with a lot of people, and we're going to see what we can do with that. All right? It might be, it's going to probably be obviously a little more impersonal, right? I mean, because I don't think we're going to have the ability to have you guys, unfortunately, actually calling into the podcast. Although I don't know, is that actually something? He's the best, Anthony, but he's giving me the hooky wave over there. So that might be a little too technical, but I'm sure we could do something along the lines, maybe where you guys can answer the questions on your own time, and then we can check it out, and we'll see how many people answered right, and we'll go back to the old you make the answer, you participate, you make the effort, you participate, and everybody gets something. All right, we've given away like $10 gift cards at Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Eleven. All right, so all cool, good stuff. That's something we're working on down the road. So today I want to start off by saying that, I don't want to say I'm angry. Nobody wants to be angry, right? And I'm not angry. I'm actually a happy guy, patient guy, happy guy. But so I read something recently that really kind of, I guess, for lack of a better word, pissed me off. I mean, some people probably laughing. That's like a term back in the 70s. But anyway, so it had to do with EVs, electric vehicles, right? Hybrids, more so electric vehicles. The hybrids have been around for quite a while. But this was the electric vehicles. And I think the article touched on, and I think the reason why I got so PO'd is I couldn't believe it that the whole theme of the article, right? The title of the article, and I wish I had it here. Pissed off. Usually I come a lot more prepared, but I was running late. flew out, had to get to the studio, yada, yada, yada. So at any rate, I'll have more specific details hopefully next episode. But to paraphrase what was being talked about in the article is basically that this whole concept of electric vehicles. Right now, I know everybody hears us talked about on the news and talked about with the politicians and talked about with the manufacturers and all the environmentalists and all the other, the globalists, save the world, whack of jobs and stuff. And I get it. All right, I get it. It's all mainstream stuff. But folks, the entire theme of this article was that it's not working. Okay? It's not happening. I know you see them on the road. I do too, right? I mean, they're all around us, but it's not working, folks. Okay? Believe it or not, people are really not glamoring onto this. All right? People are not that excited about it. But that's not even what pissed me off. What really got me upset is not only do I read that it's not getting any traction. All right, so forget the propaganda. There's a lot of propaganda. I used to talk about this on the radio show. I'll talk about it here again. Disinformation, misinformation, right? Sounds the same, but means two different things. Misinformation could be something innocent, right? Somebody is saying something, telling you something, giving you something, and they themselves are just either misinformed or maybe the information they got or their sources are just not as legitimate. Okay, as it should be. And so it's misinformation, right? They're giving you information. They're giving you things that, either knowledge or things that you can use, something like that. But it's not accurate. That's misinformation. Now, the other category, we go even further. Now we go to disinformation. All right? And unless you crawled out from under a rock or you're brain dead, there's more disinformation out there than you even know what to do with today. Right? In fact, I would argue that misinformation is now taking a backseat to disinformation, okay? Because they take the misinformation and actually, they're actually pretty talented. They take misinformation and repackage it into disinformation and then convince you that it's all true. It's all legitimate. And folks, that's what's going on with the EV. That's what's happening with the electric vehicle thing. This whole saga about electric cars and we're going to save the world and clean the air and clean the oceans and everything's going to be hooky dooky and kumbaya. Everybody's going to be singing kumbaya. We'll be driving around our Jetson mobiles, and it's all crap. It's all crap. All right? Yeah, there's folks that like them, and you know what? I don't have any problem with that. I really don't. If you like an electric car, if you like depending on a big, powerful battery that you're sitting on that could blow up and go on fire and burn for hours and hours and hours that the fire department can't put out, and can cause all other kinds of problems that can pollute the environment when they try and destroy them or try and get rid of them, right? Because of the high the mercury and the other properties that are in these things, the lithium. Hey man, if that's your bag and you like it and you generally like the car, because I don't know how many of these people are actually really excited about an electric vehicle. I mean, I'm just saying. And listen, I'm not an academic. I've said this a million times. I work at one of our amazing network partner shops, V&J Auto Body. In fact, we are a certified shop in Tesla. Okay, and we just became certified in Rivian. Okay, Rivian's another electric vehicle manufacturer. Although I think Rivian figured out how to make cars before they figured out how to finance them because they're on the threshold of going bankrupt every other month. But anyway. So I know all about these cars, all right? I see them day in and day out. I write estimates on them. I fix them. To me, they're not that exciting, all right? To me, I'm just being honest. They're pretty boring. They don't have a lot of character. There's not a lot of aesthetic value in them, right? Now, again, this is a personal opinion. Yeah, they got the torque, right? I mean, especially the Model S's. I mean, you step on that gas and it's bam, it's direct power, right? It feels like you're launching yourself on a rocket ship, all right, through the stratosphere, all right? I'm serious. I mean, if you've never driven one of these things, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, the minute you put the pedal down, there's no friction, there's no delay. It's instant power, right? Instant torque. 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds with the Model S, all right? Terrific. But after that, it's pretty much the bloom comes off the rose, folks. All right? I'm serious. I mean, there's just not a lot going on with these cars. All right. Oh, now you got you take a look at the Cybertruck. Who's gotten a good look at the Cybertruck? This looks like something that ought to be driving around on Mars, or in fact, it looks like it was in an episode of The Martian with what's his name there. I mean, this thing, again, it's not exciting. Not only is that thing not exciting, I mean, you feel like you're driving something in the 23rd century. I don't know what they're going to be driving in 20. Who knows if there will even be a 23rd century at the rate we're going, right? But to get back to the central point here, the central issue at hand, which was the article that I read that basically said that the electric vehicle, all right, the electric vehicle saga, that's what I'm going to call it, the electric vehicle experiment, all right, how about that? Let's call it an experiment. The utopian world of electric vehicles that we're all going to be driving, and then we're all going to be singing Kumbaya, and all going to be getting around the campfire with marshmallows. It's all crap, okay? Again, not shocking, right? Given that it's coming from the people who are pushing a lot of this. And folks, I don't want you to misconstrue, all right? I don't want anybody out there to misconstrue what I'm saying, all right? My podcast is here, okay? My audience. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. There are two very distinctly different guide rails here, all right? I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to drive it and you shouldn't like it, all right? And you shouldn't want that kind of car. Not at all. If that's what turns you on, no problem. Knock yourself out. Go lay down a lot of money and jump into basically a battery powered car. Well, like I like to say in the shop, a computer on wheels powered by a large battery. If that's what turns you on, man, and you like that kind of stuff, knock yourself out. Go buy one. Go buy the Roadster by Tesla for almost 200-something thousand. Right? That thing's like a rocket ship on the ground. I mean, the power's there. I just don't think the excitement or the aesthetics, and certainly, there's no personality in these cars. All right? And I think by and large, that's why this article, when they say the whole thing looks like it's been a bust. Take away the smoke and the mirrors. All right? Take away all the noise and all the smoke and all the mirrors that all the Houdinis out there like to utilize today. All right? All the hype. Take that all away and really drill down into this and what's going on here. What's happening? Right? Really, what is happening? Well, I'll tell you what's happening. I'll go right back to the real beginning of this. Here's why I said I got pissed. Because not only is this not working and it's not getting a lot of traction, Americans are by and large rejecting this. Okay? I know some people out there don't want to hear this, but this is fact. Hello. We're going to get the whistle. When you hear the whistle, that means sharpen up. You got to listen. All right? Fact. That's a real word. Believe it or not, it's a real word. And I know there's a lot of people and a lot of different sources out there that would have you believe otherwise, but they really are still facts. All right? And like the liberals like to say, facts are little inconvenient truths that just get in the way of what they want done. And in this case here with the EVs, it's the same thing. Now, why am I in a rant about this? Well, I'll wrap it all up into crash course. And why I'm on a rant today about it. But let me finish up why I got pissed off. So on top of the fact that it's not getting any real traction, okay, it's not exploding. The market is not exploding. All right, I know you hear that. It's an exploding market. It's a growing market. No, it's not. According to this article, it's not. All right, and I'll give you a fact. Ford just announced that they're cutting back production by almost 50% on the EVs. You know why? Because the CEO of Ford looks out the window from his ivory tower and he sees a crap load of EVs sitting around in storage yards over there, and they're not going on any trucks to get delivered anywhere. Okay, that's the real world, folks. All right, now this is why I'm pissed. Okay. I'm finally going to give it to you. I know you guys are in suspense. You're probably sitting there with bated breath, just biting your tongue, gritting your teeth, like, oh, I can't wait. What is he all pissed off about? I can't wait. We've been listening. Well, here it is. I'm going to give it to you. I'm pissed off because on top of it not getting any traction and being all smoke and mirrors, right? Turns out we're paying for it. That's right. Now, when I say we're paying for it, I don't mean I'm writing a check out every month to the EV program. No. Folks, these cars, right, if you buy an EV, right, you buy an electric vehicle, you get a tax rebate, right? And I know everybody out there shakes their head and like, yeah, all right, what's the big deal? You know, it's lower my taxes. Yeah, but it's lowering your taxes. That's called a supplement. All right? That's when the government decides to pick and choose what industries win or lose. And in this case, the federal government, and in a much smaller sense, the states, but a lot of the states' activity is driven by the federal government. It's like carrot and a stick, you know, help us do this or else, you know, you don't get any money. The federal government, they incentivize people to buy these cars. Okay? All right, folks, so let's face it. If I tell you this is an $80,000 electric vehicle, all right, and we want you to buy it. It's going to save the world. Well, I don't know if I want to spend $80,000. Well, hold on. Buy the car, and we'll give you a $10,000 rebate. Well, what does that mean? Well, what that means is you buy the car, and next tax season, you can write $10,000 off your taxes. Okay? Now, on top of that, not only are you getting a tax, okay, write-off, all right? I think I'm using rebate. I don't think that's really the right word. It's probably more it's more of a tax write-off. But there are some rebates put in there, too. Not only that, but the companies themselves, okay, the manufacturers of these cars, I don't think Tesla, and I don't believe Rivian, but the big three, Chevy, Chrysler, Ford. All right? Because these guys weren't really getting on board, folks. All right, let's face it. All right? I know the woman running GM over there. I know she's waving the utopian flag, but they really weren't getting on board, at least not quick enough for the federal government. So would the government say, oh, no problem, we're going to help you out. We're going to give you a little incentive to want to get involved in the EV market. All right? And they decided to basically, for lack of a better term, is to help fund these programs for these manufacturers, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, they give them incentives through tax credits, right? Tax write-offs for themselves, and also by supplementing, all right, or supporting those industries, right? Just like you always hear the oil companies are guilty of that, right? Oh, the federal gives them subsidies. Yeah, so guess what? They give subsidies. Subsidies. When you hear the word subsidies, folks, all right, wake up. That's you and me. All right? That's the government saying, "Hey, we're gonna give taxpayer money that gets paid to us. We're gonna now pay to these car manufacturers." This is why I'm pissed off. So on top of the fact that this is another brain dead program that doesn't appear to be getting as much traction as we've been led to believe, and what I mean by this, the electric car industry, all right, they've been subsidized all this time. So add in the subsidy trick, the tax write-off trick. All right, and that's why, by and large, a lot of people are buying these cars, right? And if you own a car out there and you're listening to me today, and you're hearing my voice, and you're hearing me on this podcast, and you're sitting there and you're making a face, or maybe you're getting pissed off at me, right? You might even be angry at me, like, this guy's just a fossil, he's he's a leftover from the gas engine age. Well, I am, and I'm a proud fossil. I really am. If that's what I'm going to be designated as, I'm a fossil. Okay, I'm a fossil fuel. How's that? Hey, here we go. I'm a fossil fuel fossil. All right, from a gone by age when we loved our internal combustion cars. All right, and the cars had character and personality, and they meant something to us, and they fit us as an individual. All right, but I digress. I'm going down another narrow road here on that. But getting back to me being pissed off about the EVs, the electric vehicles, all right, is because, folks, this is not market driven. Now, hello, market driven. I guess I gotta. Everybody hear that? Market driven. All right? And why am I emphasizing that? Because I just realized a lot of people may not even understand free markets of capitalism anymore. And that's a damn shame, because, folks, that is the machine that has driven the success and the lifestyle, all right, and also I would argue, our standard of living in the United States of America, all right? And by and large, most of the Western world, all right? And that's good old capitalism and free markets. So when you hear subsidies, and listen, if anybody wants to argue with me out there about the oil companies, hey, I hear you. I personally don't agree with that either. I don't think the oil companies should, especially not in 2024. All right, it's not like it's 1898 and they just struck oil. And the guy's out there, with a horse and buggy, and he's trying to dig a hole or whatever the hell he's doing. Who the hell needs subsidies anymore, right? Think about it. Do they really need a subsidy, the oil company? I mean, they're drilling for gas horizontally through the ground. When they first struck oil, they could barely drill. Now we're drilling horizontally, vertically, diagonally. I mean, we're drilling everywhere. So I'm not demonizing the industry for the subsidies, and I would agree with you 100% that the subsidy thing is a crock, right? Subsidizing anything by the government, I think, is a real crock of shit. But I digress, because I don't want to go. We're here to talk about oil. This is Crash Course Podcast. We want to focus on cars. We want to focus on insurance. We want to focus on the amazing auto body industry here. By the way, Crash Course. All right, the real voice of the Long Island auto body industry, right? We promote and support the privately owned free markets. All right, auto body industry. But most importantly, we get to talk to you folks and educate you folks. All right, Collision Services Network is the parent company. All right, and when you go to Collision Service Network, you can find an amazing body shop that's going to work for you and not the insurance guys. But I digress. Pissed off, right? So now I told you, that's the secrets out of the box. That's why I got so worked up and so pissed off, is on top of the tax write-down that the consumer gets, the government is subsidizing these industries. So, folks, even with all of this, it's not working. Okay, the electric car business is a failure. Yeah, I know, you're probably sitting there hitting your TV or hitting your monitor, or your computer, or your tablet, or your phone, or whatever the hell you're looking at, and you're probably saying, this guy's, he's full of crap. I see them all over. I agree with you. I see them all over, too. I wouldn't say all over, but we see them. All right? But you see a lot of other cars, too, folks. A lot of other cars. All right? People are still leasing the good old internal combustion engine cars. They're still buying them. All right? And to be honest with you, remember, it's a real thing. Facts are what they are. Americans are by and large rejecting the electric vehicle industry. They don't want them. They don't want them. All right? And they don't want them because it's not American. All right? There's nothing there to personalize the experience. All right? You get a truck because you're a tough guy and you like trucks. Maybe you fish, you go hunting. Maybe you're a contractor. Maybe you're a carpenter. You throw shit in the bed, right? Your tools, your wood. You get a truck, right? Or maybe you're just a truck guy or truck girl. You get a Jeep. Same thing, right? Or in my case, you get a Ford Explorer, right? A really a really hepped up, fast SUV vehicle. Why? Because I like it. Because it fits me. It's my personality. That's what I wouldn't be. I can't drive any other car. I don't feel comfortable, and I don't feel like it becomes part of me. And that's why the EV, and that's another reason why the EV industry is failing. People don't want to drive something that doesn't reflect who they are. All right? There's no excitement there, folks. There's no excitement. They're by and large look the same, do the same thing. There's not a lot of aesthetic value, no matter how much you damn try to dress these things up. It just doesn't work. All right, and forget about we can go and then the article goes into the technical aspects of why it's not working. All right, so the environmentalists out there, the Greenpeace people, to save the world's going to die tomorrow. Green energy, all this stuff here. Clean the water, clean the air. It's all bullshit. All right, it's all bullshit. It ain't working. All right. And I mean seriously, from a technical point of view, it's not working either. All right, we can get into that in another show, but the article then goes into the technical problems. All right, these cars are just not delivering on the promise. They're not delivering on the promise. They're not getting the range. They're not getting the the mileage benefits. I know, and again, I know there's probably people that are going to hear this podcast and they're going to be like, this guy's full of shit. I drive one, I get 300 miles, I get 200 miles, and blah blah blah. Okay, that's great. So before I kind of leave this and just end the show on maybe a little more of a positive note here. I just want to address you folks out there that are driving these cars, because I know some of you, you're driving the car and I'm driving you nuts. But seriously though, the technical aspects of the car are not delivering. They're not delivering. All right, and there's a lot of issues with that. And in the next episode, I will be more than happy to give you more specifics on that. I don't want to try and delve into that because it's more difficult for me to recall those things because those are very technical, hence the issue at hand. Technical attributes, and I want to be able to quote those directly. But there are problems with the promise. All right? There's problems with the promise. And when there's problems with the promise, just like when you're promising other things in relationships and business deals, all right, that creates issues, right? Creates issues, creates disappointment, creates headaches, creates anger, frustration. When you don't deliver on the promise, a lot of other stuff happens. All right. But there are technical issues that don't seem to be coming to fruition as well. So it's kind of like a perfect storm. And again, you're not going to see this, right? You're not going to see this because the smoke and mirror crowd, all right, the agenda crowd, they're not going to allow that to get out. All right, this was in some trade magazine somewhere. You think this is going to make the ABC Nightly News? Think this is going to show up on CNN? Think this is going to show up on CNN Business? No. All right. It might show up in, I don't know, in some other business aptitude, capacity, however you want to state it. But you're never going to see this in the. I don't think anyway. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you might see a little burp or something like that if it really gets to be a major issue. But the smoke and mirrors crowd, the folks that are pushing the agenda, the folks that want to use this as the holy grail to save the world, they're not going to tell you this, all right? Because you know why? These are facts. And to those people, the facts get in the way. Right? Crazy. It really is. It's actually insane when you think about it. Used to be the other way around, right? Used to be you wanted to get the facts out there so that people could make their own decisions, but that doesn't work anymore. And it's no different in the car industry. I'm not saying the car industry. I'm not saying. Listen, I want to rephrase. The car industry has always been smoke and mirrors anyway. We know that. But I'm making a statement from the standpoint of a much higher hierarchy. Okay, governments and this globalization and this electrification of our world, and and everything's going to be hunky dory, and we'll all be sitting around a campfire with marshmallows singing "Kumbaya." All right, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Chrysler, GM, and Ford all announced this year massively scaling back their production of EVs. All right, you could shake your head. I know. If you listen to me, or if you just stop by, maybe somebody told you about the podcast and say, "Oh, check this guy out," and you're an EV guy, and now you're like, F this guy, I'm never going to listen to him again. The one time I listened to him, he's trashing. Understand something. I'm not trashing the EVs, okay? I think they have a place, just like I think solar has a place. I think solar is great. Solar energy. I think it definitely has a place. Right? But folks, understand something. It all has a place. And in the case of this show, this podcast, all right, Crash Course, we're talking about the cars. All right? Now, they're not solar, but there is a company that's been experimenting with a solar-powered vehicle in Europe. I don't know. I don't recall the name of it right now. I will have that later on, but they're still working on that. They ran into some problems, like when it's raining and cloudy, the car all of a sudden doesn't want to drive. But that's something else. But I don't want anybody to misconstrue out there. I don't want to aggravate anybody. Frustrate people. I'm not saying. Listen, for me, they're not for me. Not for me. I wouldn't get caught dead driving one of those. But that's okay because that's the way it's supposed to be. right? We're supposed to have choices. That's what it used to be anyway. The car manufacturers said, hey, here you go. We have all these different cars, lots of cars and trucks and vans and everything out there. Because why? There's different people and different likes, right? There's a novel idea, different likes, different people, right? It's no different with cars and trucks. But when it comes to the EV folks, the EV crowd, all right, they want to convince us all that we have to electrify everything. Everything's got to be electrified. Electrified trucks, fire trucks, helicopters, tanks, ships, everything. Trains. Well, they already are electrified. They've been electrified. You know, boats, buses, you know, bullshit. And Americans are saying that now. They don't want it. But again, I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm saying here. If you like that and you want to drive that, that's great. That's awesome. Knock yourself out. Go buy it. But don't have the government subsidize it, and don't get a tax write-off. I bought my Ford Explorer. I bought it in cash. Well, I didn't buy it in cash. I financed it, then I paid it off in cash. But the point is I didn't get a tax write-off, and certainly nobody subsidized that. The government didn't give a shit that Ford built a million Ford Explorer Sports that year. They give who cares? But Ford says they're going to build 250,000 Ford electric Mustangs that nobody wants. All right, they're all sitting around in a yard somewhere. Okay, up in Detroit. It's true. Go look into it. Ford announced they're cutting back the EV production, I think by 47% or something like that. All right, and a lot of those are these electric Mustangs. Who the hell wants an electric Mustang, right? Think about it. Well, maybe you do. Not me. But if you do, great. Knock yourself out. Go buy it. But I don't want to subsidize it. Okay? I don't want to pay for you to buy your electric car. And no American should. All right? And it's the same thing with the federal government subsidizing Ford, subsidizing Chrysler, subsidizing GM. Why? Right? The same folks driving the EVs hate the oil industry, hate the oil crowd, right? They do a bunch of crap. They want to kill us. You know, they're draining oil, they're pumping oil, they're polluting the planet, the oceans, the air. Everything's dying. We don't need oil. Great. Okay, and they're subsidizing it. On top of everything else, they subsidize the damn guys. I hear you, man. I'm with you, sister, brother. I'm with you. I don't think they should subsidize that at all. But, and it's a big but then we find out they're subsidizing the EVs. Yeah, massively. Why do you think people are buying them? Why do you think that the small penetration that they got, okay, into the automobile market, why do you think it succeeded the little that it has? Because it's not real. It's smoke and mirrors. You get to get the car, you get an $8,000 write-off or $7,000 write-off. Woo, that's great. I'm going to buy the car. And then the manufacturers get subsidized. Take away the subsidies, take away the tax rebates, take away the tax write-offs. How excited are people going to be to buy those? I don't know. Probably not too excited because they're not that excited now. They get all this shit, all this bullshit out there, and they're still not succeeding at this. And folks, let me just end. I'm going to end the podcast on this. All right, and this is serious. Okay, I mean the whole thing's been serious, but remember what I said. We want to have fun. Okay, Crash Course. We want to have fun and educate and inform. In fact, don't forget the mantra. All right, the mantra of Crash Course is: we're giving you information and knowledge you need and can use, and advice you can trust. Folks, that is so true. All right, and also so important. All right, we give you advice that you can trust. All right, and I mean that sincerely. And we've helped a lot of people here through Collision Services Network as well as Crash Course. All right, and by the way, I'm going to put a little plug in there. If you're out there right now and you have to file an insurance claim, or you've already filed an insurance claim and you're confused, you're baffled, you're upset, you're frustrated, angry, you're unsure, give us a call. 631-452-2569. 631-452-2569. Or better yet, hello, go to collisionservicenetwork.com. collisionservicenetwork.com. Please go there. It's an amazing source of amazing amounts of information. All right, there's frequently asked questions and answers there about how to speak to the insurance company, what you need to be careful of. All right, and I'll dedicate some shows to that down the road. But please go to collisionservicenetwork.com. Tell your friends, family, business associates about it. We operate a network of amazing auto body shops, some of the best guys in the business. These folks are waiting to fix your car for you, not the insurance guys. Very important, folks. It's a very, very important distinction there. All right, please. Insurance companies control a lot of the industry today. It's not good. It doesn't help the consumer. Or it certainly doesn't help the industry, despite what some nincompoops out there would have you think. It doesn't. Okay, it doesn't help us, the consumer. Helps the insurance companies. That's for sure. That's why they got on board with that. It doesn't help us. All right, but go to collisionservicenetwork.com and we're going to help you. All right, we're going to help you. That's right. We're going to help you by answering your questions, by helping you be more at ease with dealing with the insurance company. And most importantly, we also operate that network of amazing auto body shops around the island. And these folks are waiting for your phone call. All right. And please, if you do utilize one of our shops, please be certain to tell them where you found them. All right. So that, that they know that that we're doing the good work. All right. We're spreading the word. All right, but I'm serious. Remember, I work in this industry. All right, I'm not just an academic here. I work day in and day out at a huge, major production shop. All right, a very modern, future-focused shop, V&J Auto Body in Lindenhurst. So I know this firsthand, folks. All right, I see it. I see people come in and they're upset or they're not sure. Maybe they've never put an insurance claim in. They've never had to file, or it's been a long time. All right. And it can be daunting. It can be intimidating. Certainly can be intimidating, especially the way the insurance people handle things today. All right, so don't go along. If you got questions, and if you already have a claim and you're dealing with a liability issue, or maybe your car's been totaled, or the insurance company's using the word total loss. Remember what I say here, folks. Please, this is very important. Listen up. Hello, listen up. Very important. All right, total losses are a huge. I can't emphasize this. Huge problem. Insurance companies habitually underestimate the value of cars, trucks, SUVs, and things like that. They habitually do that. All right. The program can be tweaked according to each insurance company and what they deem is important, or how they want to settle claims when it comes to total losses. All right. Don't be that girl. Don't be that guy. All right. If you feel uncomfortable with the offer they're giving you, there's probably a reason for that. All right. If you think that you might be getting a little short change, you probably are. All right. But give us a call. All right. And we'll help you. And if we can't, we have people that we work with that can help you, that can help recover. All right. Help recover a more accurate settlement for you when it comes to total loss. Right. It's not something you want to go alone. Trust me, folks. All right. It's a very complicated process. Insurance company doesn't want to make it like that. They just basically want to say, car's a total, we can't fix it. Here you go. We want to offer you $5,000. Just sign over here and it'll be great. No. Hold on. You tell them to put the brakes on, and then you reach out to us. All right. Go to collisionservicenetwork.com. All right. So basically what we did here today on this show was talk about the EV, the electric vehicle, all right, and how it's not having the dramatic impact that they would have you believe. All right, they're not getting the market penetration. And I know you see them out there. And again, listen, folks, I'm serious though. If you drive an EV, don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. All right, that's great. If you like the car and you can honestly say to yourself that the reason why you're driving the car is you like it, you think it fits you, you think it serves a purpose, it excites you, great. Buy them, drive them. Same with solar energy. If you like solar panels, I didn't like the idea. I had a brand new roof put on my house, and I just couldn't get around the fact that after I had the brand new roof, I'm going to cover it with solar panels. I get it, and it makes sense, especially if you have a large house and stuff like that. But I don't think we should be in the business of subsidizing these industries, and I certainly don't think that you should be buying a car simply because you're going to get a tax write-off. Now, be honest with yourself. All right? Before I say goodbye and good night, be honest with yourself, all right? Folks out there right now hearing my voice and you're driving an EV, all right, or even a hybrid for that. I think you get some kind of a tax benefit with that too. Are you driving the car? Did you buy? All right, forget the drive. Did you buy the car? Did you buy the car because you said that's the car for me? I love that car, or did you buy it because you said, "Wow, I can get a brand new car, help save the world, clean up the air and the ocean, and get a tax write-off"? Think about it. Get that mirror out. Take a good hard look. All right, folks, I think I'm going to wrap up this episode of Crash Course. I hope everybody had a good time with this. Again, we don't mean to upset anybody here, or the old adage, upset the apple cart. But this is a very opinionated show. My opinion, in fact. And I'm going to give it to you the way I see it and the way I feel. Again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's what makes us such a great country, although that entitlement keeps getting watered down every year. But seriously, though, it's something to think about. All right? Next time you see it on the news, or next time you hear maybe some investment guru talking to you about the electric vehicles and how it's going to be amazing, and it's we're gonna electrify the world, and everybody's going to be driving these things, and then soon we'll be driving Jetson mobiles like George Jetson did, floating through the air. And listen, if all this happens, that's great. All right, but it needs to happen because people want it to happen. All right, not because somebody's telling us it has to happen, and not because somebody's trying to make it happen through using funds and subsidies and stuff like that. All right, folks, I had a good time. I hope you did. I hope that at least maybe I got people thinking, even if you were thinking that you're an idiot, that this isn't right, blah blah blah. That's okay, as long as hopefully I agitated some people in whatever direction, either in the direction that, hey, this guy's right, or the direction that this guy's off his rocker, or I don't care. The point is to get people thinking about this. All right, get you thinking about it. All right, the electric vehicle saga. All right, what's really going on? All right, and what I read is that it's not really happening the way they think they make it seem. All right, next time we get together, next show, I will try and have more information on the technical problems with the EV industry, all right, and why that's also becoming, why that's also a contributing factor to why the EVs are not penetrating the market. They're not becoming, people aren't getting involved in them as much as they would have expected by now, all right, or what we're being led to believe. All right, man, Crash Course, we are here for the folks, right? Always looking out for the folks, and of course, we're supporting and promoting the Long Island auto body industry, the independently owned and operated guys, and I'm looking out for the folks. All right, go to QuinnServiceNetwork.com if you need something regarding insurance or auto body, and for that matter, if you're injured, God forbid. All right, we do have a limited amount of personal injury firms there as well. All right, and you can always reach us at 631-452-2569. Goodbye, good night. Everybody stay healthy. And we will see you at the next show.